Hello everyone, my name is Abubaker Saleem and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about for loop in C++ language. So far, we have discussed about while loop and do while loop, and I have told you in the previous two tutorials that the purpose of loops is to repeat statements to a specific amount of time. The purpose of for loop is same like while loop. The only difference is the difference of syntax. Now, the syntax of for loop is a bit tougher as compared to a while loop, but the purpose is same. So let's suppose we have to create first 10 natural numbers starting from 1 till 10. So we want to create this sequence, but now I'm going to do this with the help of for loop. Now let's recall while loop, that in while loop, whenever we had to print a sequence, or whenever we have to implement a loop, we used to create a variable outside the loop, which was the loop controlling variable, which contained the initial value of the sequence. So in this case, the initial value is 1. So I have created a variable I, and I have assigned it 1 because the initial value is 1. This is known as a loop controlling variable. So in while loop, we used to create this loop controlling variable outside the loop. But in for loop, create this loop controlling variable inside the loop statement. The first thing that you have to do is you have to create a variable. Then you have to implement the condition, separating the variable initialization and the condition with semicolon, and after that you have to write the iteration. Increment or decrement operator will be specified there, and in the body of the loop you will specify the functionality that you want to implement. So I want to implement I wrote C out, which is not the statement of C++. Print C out and uh, end L to jump on the new line. So when I will run this program, you will see the output on the screen. The digits from 1 to 10 will be displayed on the screen, and every digit will be on a separate line. So for loop, the functionality of for loop is similar to the while loop. The only difference is the syntax. Okay, there is one more thing that you can do while using for loop. You can initialize this variable outside the loop body. Okay, and you can also specify this inside the loop body just like while loop. But if you want to do that, you will have to follow this syntax. You have to first place semicolon here, then you have to write the condition, and after condition you have to place semicolon, and you have to leave this space empty. Now when you will run the program, the output is going to be same: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. What if I place this I plus plus before C out? Let's see what happens now. Now the output will start from 2 and it will end at 11. So you have to remember one thing, that you have to take care of the sequence or in the loop. That's a very important concept. that mostly programmers, the beginners, commit a mistake that they do not take care of the sequence of the loop. The statements that you have placed in the loop, their sequence should be correct. Otherwise, you can encounter different errors. So whenever you are using any loop, you have to take care of the sequence. So we have discussed for loop so far. In for loop, let me repeat all the concepts. For loop is similar to while loop. We use for loop to repeat different statements. Secondly, I told you that the syntax of for loop is different from while loop in such a way that we can initialize the variable, we can implement the condition of the variable, and we can implement the iteration of the variable in the loop statement, and we have to separate all these statements with the help of semicolon. And then I told you that you can also specify the variable initialization outside the loop, and you can also specify the increment of the variable inside the loop. And if you want to do that, you have to take care of the sequence. So if you have specified I plus plus here, what will happen then? First, the condition will be tested, then the statements inside the loop, these statements will be executed. And at the end, this I plus plus statement will be executed. So you have to remember the sequence that this in this sequence, the statements of for loop will be executed. First, initialization, then condition will be tested, then the statements inside the loop of the body will be executed, and after that, you will have to write and after that the iteration will be executed. So this is very easy. You can again perform different examples, like I discussed one example in the while loop video, that you can find the factorial of a number. There are different examples as well that you can practice, and uh, you have you can perform different programs. So far we have discussed about the control structure, and this was the very important part in the C++ language, because everything ahead will be based on these concepts. So if you want to become good in any programming language, you have to learn these concepts very well. If statement, if else statement, loops. There are many more things to come, like functions, and then arrays, and then classes, and then pointers. So there are so many things to cover, but these are the basics of programming languages that you should learn if you want to improve your problem solving skills. So I'll suggest you that you should practice this again and again. You should uh, try to build logic of different programs, try to solve them, and once you are expert in this, you can easily understand the upcoming concepts that we will be discussing in the upcoming videos. One more thing that mostly students do wrong is that they well, when I was in my university, I used to do this thing as well, and it caused me different problems. That whenever I was assigned an assignment, I used to copy it from my friends. I never spent more than 1 hour to complete the assignment. But the good students, they were like, they used to spend time on solving the assignments. It might take them 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, but it helped them a lot. So you might find the solutions of different programs and different problems on the internet. But I suggest you to not copy them. If you are copying something from the internet, you are not learning. You are just finding the solution, and it will not help you in future. But if you are spending some time in problem solving, and if you are finding the solution yourself, then it will help you a lot. And in future, you will be able to learn other upcoming concepts easily, and you can easily become expert in any programming language. It doesn't matter you have learned C++ or C language. If you're good in one programming language, you can learn others as well. It will not take much time. So I hope that you have understood all the things that I've told you in this video. Uh, there are more to come. The next topic that we'll be covering is functions, which is also very important. So stay tuned, subscribe the channel, like the video, share the videos with your friends, and thank you so much for watching the video.